showing today. Today I'll be talking about Adolf Hitler and how he became the famous dictator of Germany. He was born on April 20th, 1889 in Austria, Hungary. When he was 14 years old, his father died and he had no one to look up to. When he was young, he started attending anti-Semitic rallies in Germany and he became an activist. He believed in anti-Semitic ways because of social Darwinism and survival of the fittest. He didn't believe that people of the Jewish faith were worthy of other Germans, and he also feared that the people of the Jewish faith were going to take over the world. And finally, it was the beer hall Putsch and Mein Kampf that gained his attention. Adolf Hitler doesn't have a very positive image, but how did he come to believe in these anti-Semitic ways? We talked to a famous person who knows a lot about the subject. Hello there. I'm here to ask you a question. How did Hitler come to believe what he later enforces?
Well, Hitler believed in what he enforced, what the Germans enforced before World War I. Also, a little backstory on Hitler. When he was 14, he traveled to Germany and attended class. He also believed Germany would have won World War I if it enforced the anti-Semitic rule sooner. And he also thought that the Jewish people were superior to the Germans, and he feared that. And yeah, but due to anti-Semitism, he called it the Jewish peril because he thought they were evil.
And would you please explain what anti-Semitism is?
Well, anti-Semitism is being a bit, how would you call it, stereotypical to the people of the Jewish faith.
Go on.
That's it.
Oh. Post-World War I, Hitler was furious with the outcome. He began to become a part of the Nazi Party, and as tensions grew between the European countries, even after World War I, the Nazi Party was desperate to take control of Germany, and their first attempt to take power was not exactly planned as they thought. Beer halls were mass meetings where people discussed and debated over politics. On the day the Putsch took place, the Bavarian government politicians actually attended, making a speech in front of 3,000 people. Gustav Ritter von Kahr, Eugene von Knilling, Hans Ritter von Seisser, and Otto von Lossow were at the beer hall, and Hitler wanted to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity.
When Hitler and his followers went into that hall, their plan was to take the leaders that were speaking at that, the association meeting. at gunpoint and force them to get on board with the beer hall push. Support the push! No! And the next day, with confusion happening, Hitler asked for some reinforcements, but they didn't show up. So he gathered 2,000 supporters that wanted to help him, and they marched into Munich anyway, which was their loss because midway through the trip, 100 soldiers stopped them, and a terrible fight broke out in which 16 Nazis were killed, but only 4 soldiers were killed. And apparently all the supporters got away except for Hitler and a couple other key Nazi leaders, and they were arrested.
It was in jail where Hitler did a lot of his work to become leader of Germany, and not many people realized that. In jail, he wrote his book, Mein Kampf, meaning My Struggle. Volume 1 of Mein Kampf, A Reckoning, was Hitler's autobiography, and Volume 2 is the National Socialist Movement, explaining how the Nazis came to be. Volume 1 was published in 1925, and Volume 2 was published in 1926.
Oh, hello there. Sorry about that. I am the temporary replacement of the current host that you are used to seeing. He is not here right now. Anyway, where did we leave off? I remember now. Yes, Hitler was an anti-Semitic person, which means he had somewhat racist views on the Jewish religion. Although, when the Nazis were on the rise, they didn't mention any of their feelings towards the Jews. Although many people did know their beliefs due to the fact that they had lots and lots of German supporters on their side. Now tell me, how did Hitler gain so much popularity?
He gained a lot of attention from his book. In 1945, 10 million copies were sold and translated into 16 different languages. Both volumes of the book were published around 7 years before he gained political power. And at the time when he published those books, he was already well known by the Germans.
How enticing, and I assume that's why people bought his book, because he was already a popular figure, although not in a good way then.
That is correct.
Hitler began to gain popularity in politics because people believed what he wrote. It agreed with what the Nazis already believed in, and as Hitler began to gain popularity, he became known as not a political criminal, but as a political leader in the eyes of Germany.
Mit Unterschied nur etwas, nämlich die Erkenntnis, dass man den Folgen dieses Verbrechens nur dann wird begegnen können, wenn man aus den Fehlern der Vergangenheit lernen will, um aus ihrer Kenntnis heraus sich die Voraussetzungen zu schaffen.
Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany in 1933. The speech you just saw was part of his inauguration as the Chancellor. Approximately 1 year later, he became the dictator of Germany, and we see how his regulations relate to the outline of Mein Kampf.
Hello. The temporary host that was before me is not available at the time. I will be temporarily taking his place now. So where we left off, Hitler outlined many beliefs in his book. He was an anti-Semitic Christian, and when he was young, he was a very strong Christian with his family. And some people say, though, he even had a plan to destroy the Christian religion after World War II. But he did not mention that in his book, Mein Kampf.
Hitler also claimed that Judaism and communism were twin evils. He also blamed all German misfortunes on Jews, social democrats, and Marxists. He announced that he wanted to take out the parliamentary system because he believed that its members were corrupt. When he took power, let's start off with this. When he took power, he did not take out the parliamentary system. He did, however, take it over, along with the legislative and executive branch in 1934.
Stop, please. This is my show.
It's mine now.
Alright, now that's over with. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide, and so did his wife.
That evil woman.
They both committed suicide by taking a cyanide pill, and people believe Adolf Hitler also shot himself to get it over with. Views have changed greatly after their death on the book of Mein Kampf. The selling of Mein Kampf was banned in many countries post-World War II, and Germany is actually planning on republishing the book in the near future, but historians believe that it should be banned because it is Nazi propaganda. Hey.
People today think that the Nazis are gone, but there are still people in the world today that think that Hitler was correct in his beliefs. These people are called neo-Nazis, and they are literally everywhere around the world, including Europe, which have people that believe that Hitler was correct in countries such as Austria, Belgium, Bosnia, and Herzegovina, Croatia, Estonia, Hungary, France, Germany, Greece, Bosnia, Sweden, and Switzerland. Those are only countries in Europe that have neo-Nazis. There are plenty more of them around the world.
Well, I hope you learned something with today's show. We'll see you next time.